problem is we don't know, because the McKee administration refuses to answer these questions. All I want, and all the taxpayers of Rhode Island deserve, is accountability. We in the Rhode Island House Republican Caucus will continue to pursue the full details of the Echo Village project until we get real answers. I urge Governor Dan McKee and Secretary Deborah Goddard to abandon this culture of secrecy and work with me, not against me, to bring transparency to this process. Thank you all for being here. I want to acknowledge and thank my colleagues, Representative Quattrochi and Minority Whip David Place, for attending. Our other caucus members are at work today while we're here, otherwise they would be here with us. We're here today to address a pressing issue that has captured the attention of Rhode Islanders across the political spectrum: the Echo Village Pallet Shelters. On February 12th of this year, I raised an important question on social media. Why is the cost per bed at the Echo Village shelter exceeding $100,000 when a brand new Winnebago, which sleeps 5, has a bathroom, and meets all necessary code requirements, costs just $25,000? The response from the public was overwhelming. The people of Rhode Island, Democrats, Republicans, and independents alike, demanded answers. When I dug deeper, I discovered that the same pallet shelters purchased for this project are available for approximately $17,000. Naturally, this raised serious questions, and I sought to get to the bottom of this using my official capacity to obtain the full financial information on the project. On February 13th, I filed a formal Access to Public Records Act request with the Rhode Island Department of Housing, and from the start, I was met with resistance. Housing then attempted to charge me $495 to obtain the information for which I am statutorily entitled to as a member of the House Finance Committee under Rhode Island General Law 22-612. When my legal counsel pointed it out to Secretary Goddard through her legal counsel, they asked us to compromise, and we were willing to compromise. We agreed to accept the financial records, which required no redactions, and we would wait for the emails, which I'm certain you all are familiar with, are what often results in fees and delays. We said we would accept those emails at a later date. Despite the compromise, housing continued to delay. They missed multiple deadlines, made excuses, and in the end, after a month of waiting, I received a vague and inadequate response. These documents that they provided me did not paint any picture, let alone the full picture. Then, incredibly, Housing told me they didn't even have the documents that I had requested, and that House of Hope, a nonprofit organization, did. This was unacceptable. I will not speculate that the continued delays had anything to do with the governor's re-election announcement on March 3rd, nor the Housing Secretary's Senate confirmation hearing on March 6th, but I will say this. For the past 3.5 years, I've worked closely with House Speaker Joe Shikarchi on many legislative issues, and he has consistently emphasized his commitment to open and transparent government. Furthermore, Rhode Island Attorney General Peter Nerona has been outspoken in his criticism of this administration's pattern of building opaque walls whenever legitimate questions are asked. These two Democratic leaders have expressed strong concerns about this trend in opacity, and they are right to be concerned. This is not a partisan issue. This is about responsibility and accountability in government. As a Republican, I stand here today acknowledging and appreciating the leadership of Speaker Shikarchi and Attorney General Nerona in advocating for transparency and good governance. I also stand here determined to hold the McKee administration accountable for the taxpayers of Rhode Island. Perhaps there were unavoidable costs associated with this project. Perhaps there was a reason why the so-called Rapid Response Emergency Shelter, which was initiated in 2023 but didn't open its doors until 2025, while countless Rhode Islanders languished in homelessness, including 130 Rhode Island veterans of the United States military. Perhaps it was mere coincidence that once Speaker Shikarchi introduced a bill to eliminate burdensome regulations for projects like this, the shelter finally opened. The problem is We don't know, because the McKee administration refuses to answer these questions. All I want, and all the taxpayers of Rhode Island deserve, is accountability. We in the Rhode Island House Republican Caucus will continue to pursue the full details of the Echo Village project until we get real answers. I urge Governor Dan McKee and Secretary Deborah Goddard to abandon this culture of secrecy and work with me, not against me, to bring transparency to this process. Furthermore, I welcome bipartisan support from Attorney General Noronha in resolving this standoff. The people of Rhode Island deserve to know how their tax dollars are being spent. This is not a fight between the Republicans and Democrats. This is about the people versus an administration that refuses to be accountable to the very people that put them in office. I'm here to work for the people of Rhode Island, and I will not stop until I get answers. Thank you.
Are you ready to